Well, here we are again, guys, back in the woods, back and wandering around and having a look and see what there is to see and what there is to find. Fungi maybe is getting on a bit in the year, but definitely an interesting time. Maybe something to do this project with, who knows. Anyway, guys, it's a fine morning, slightly damp, and it's beautiful. See you in a bit. There we go, my friends, a fine example of a milk cap. I'm not sure which one it is, but I've broken the gills, and as you can see, there's the milk underneath that exudes. The liquid of all milk caps is non-toxic, but some of the milk caps are. I found this underneath a sweet chestnut, so I shall probably key this out later, but there you go. It's let's flip it around so you can see the cap. Nice cap. Stem. Woo! I dropped it. Anyway. There you go, my friends, a nice example of a member of the Amanita family. I'm not sure which one it is. I might break it to see if it's a blusher later, but yeah, it's a nice looking one. I've scraped around the base so you can just about see the vulva. Yeah, good morning, guys. Actually, it's quite late in the morning. It's about 11 o'clock now, and not been bad. You saw earlier I had a look at I saw a milk cap. I've got the book out and I shall have a look at it in a minute to find out what milk cap it was. But as I mentioned, that all the milk on milk caps is non-toxic, but it's quite tasty. I'd have it brewed up today out in the woods, so I brought it out with me in my little flask. I've just been lying here for a bit actually, listening to the rain. It's raining quite heavily, bouncing into the canopy above. It's not a bad day actually, it's quite a nice day. Alfie, my little hound, is over there sitting there quietly. It's rather good. It's a Tuesday and I'm looking about, and no, just there is a lot of conifer. It's mostly Scots pine. There's a lot of sweet chestnut about, and the leaves are changing their colour, going from green to russet browns, yellows and sort of orangey colours. Very beautiful as well. It's been a very good year, as I say, for fungi. I've mentioned this before, and I'm just out having a wander. In this little foraging bag, I've picked up some acorns and sweet chestnut. The acorns I want to try and process. I've never ever processed acorns before. I've been promising myself a couple of years ago I promised myself to do this. Like many things, it's one of these sort of foods that gets put by the wayside. It's a survival food. It has to be leached out. The Germans apparently made it as a ersatz coffee during the Second World War, but again, you know, it's something that's out there to be foraged. We don't have to go overboard on foraging. There's a programme in the UK called Countryfile. I don't actually watch it, but some friends of mine at work watched it, and they focused on foraging, primarily fungi foraging, because it's been such a good year. It's got a lot of, it's had a bit of media coverage, and they've been talking about the professional foragers and how they've been over picking. You can't really over pick fungi. It's like saying you over pick the apple tree. I mean, what you see and what you actually pick off the fungi is just the fruiting body. It's the bit that sets seeds, and it does set a lot of spores out. It's always constantly raining spores. chap at work who collects fungi has collected an awful lot, and he's pickled most of them. But there is a sort of an ethical side of it. I only collect what I'm going to eat. Yesterday I found three brown birch bolets. They were quite nice for my breakfast this morning. Well, Avalon and I had them for breakfast this morning, and they were very tasty. A couple of duck eggs. Excuse me. Excuse me. A couple of duck eggs, and they were very tasty. I've got in mind to some projects I want to do. I want to revisit the camping scenario. I'm going to set the camp up in a couple of weeks and go through it. I've rejigged it for my own personal benefit. There's various methods of camp sleeping out. Some people tend to over egg the pudding and take the weld and his wife with him, and some people go very minimum. That is coming down quite hard now. I'm glad I'm in this woodland and the leaves are still up, so it's acting as a bit of an umbrella. I say it's been a good week. I've got some ideas to do demonstrations wise, as I mentioned last week, some stuff in the man cave as well. Other than that, it's quite nice. In the string hammock, just to the left of me, and as you saw earlier, there is a nice amanita, and the place is just full of fungi. It's really good. There's very little else to eat at the moment. I'm going to spend a year exploring, as I mentioned, exploring the world of food in the backwoods. Not necessarily. It's a sort of a semi-foraged project. It's a sliding scale when it comes to eating in the backwoods. You can go from foraging for everything to taking out prepared meals, and we slide in between. I like to forage a little bit. It adds something to the camping experience. I want to try and get out more. I keep promising myself to get out. Oh, I don't believe this. Yeah, for doing overnights. I think I've burbled on enough. Maybe have some more burbling in a minute. I'm going to have a bite to eat. I brought a couple of buns out with me. And I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, this is something I showed that I've knocked up. For a while now I've been not very satisfied with actually having the knife on my belt. If I'm out walking, I like to keep the knife packed away in the pack when I'm walking down the road, but when I come out into woodland like this, I like to hook it on. Now you can get belt loops fit onto the belt with a brass D-ring. People can make them up for you. But I've noticed I've got a spare carabiner indoors, and I had a bit of climbing tape. So what I've done is I've made one for myself. I've just stitched the climbing tape over. It's quite strong. The knife clips onto the carabiner, and it works quite well. It means I can sit down quite comfortably. The knife dangles over the edge of the hammock or chair or whatever, and it's easier to actually take the knife out of the sheath as well. Very handy. I'm going to make a couple more, a couple of other bits that I carry on the belt. Hope this proves of interest and of inspiration. Climbing tape, carabiner, and onto the knife. Well, been finding lots of these guys. The sweet chestnut or Castanea sativa, and of course, you know, I've been picking up loads. I mean, there are lots. Last week there weren't so many, but this week they've really sort of come out of their shell, so to speak. Normally it's a fight between myself and the squirrels, but I haven't seen any squirrels. Well, I think I've seen about 2 squirrels this year in this wood, so they're very low. If I pan over to my little foraging bag, There's no fungi in here today, just that little lot in there. If I zoom out a little bit, there we go. A mixture of sweet chestnut and acorns in there. Very yummy. And as someone once said to me a while back, I very rarely come back empty-handed.